Good morning, good morning. Good morning, TikTok Worldwide. And welcome back to our 51st edition of TikTok Live. So I don't know if you guys saw it. So Becky turned the tables yesterday and we did our 50th Tech Talk, and she decided that she wanted to interview me. 2 hours later, we weren't done because I can talk and talk and talk and talk. Anyways, good morning to everybody. Hi, Anita. Anita and I have been chatting for the last hour on the phone, coming up with some awesome upcoming things, not only for Tech Talk Worldwide, but just for her beauty biz supply house as well. Hi, Vonda. And lots of fun stuff coming out and innovative and new. Good morning, Joanne. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Miss Charbon. Charbon. Cheers. So today's special guest is Courtney Crosbie. And I want to say that everybody has heard of her. She is an amazing nail tech, and I actually got to do her. She was my third Tech Talk. When we first were starting, we didn't even have a name for it yet. And anyway, so I'm excited to be able to bring her back on and just show that by putting yourself out there on social media, in 6 months' time, how an entire career can change, whether you're in a salon setting or whether you just go for and try something new. Here's Courtney now. And so I'm so excited to catch up with Courtney again. Hi, Amber and Lana.
Hi.
Hi. Cute
I've got you
hair.
precariously
Cute purple.
balanced. Oh, thanks.
I love it.
Oh, I could see the
Oh, it
comments
sounds like we
before, and now
might
I
have
can't
a
see the
little bit
comments.
of delay again. Yeah. So just like yesterday, it looks like we're going to have a tiny bit of a delay. Sometimes it works itself out, sometimes it doesn't. But the best thing about it is we can both see comments. We're both on the screen, so we got to count our blessings as we go. But everybody, welcome. Welcome back to Tech Talk Live for round 2 with Courtney Crosbie.
Hooray!
Yay. So Courtney, I was just saying that you were before we actually had a plan for Tech Talk Live, you were my third guest. It
Yeah.
had been Becky and I who hijacked the page and just kind of went live together and tried to figure out the whole go live thing. And then Shayna Hill and then you came on. And so I contacted you a couple months ago and was like, so you want to do this again? I think I have the system a little bit more understandable. We can both be on the screen, not just a little person and a big person. And we can read comments and do all that. And she was like, yes. And Amy, just in the last 6 months since you started that, my entire career has changed. And so I really wanted to touch base on what you did. How did you get there? But let's back up. First of all, good morning
Good
on my
morning.
end. Good evening on your end.
Thank you.
And how did you get started in the beauty industry?
So I think a lot of people know me already in this group. I did my initial training with Essential Nails because I had moved to Germany with my husband and I had nothing to do. I didn't have a child at that time and it was very boring. So I bought a gel nail kit off Amazon, I think, and I started doing my gel nails and I thought, well, this is pretty easy. I think I could do this. So let me see if there's a school in Germany that speaks English, and there wasn't. So I found Essential Nails and they delivered to Germany and I could do it from there. So I did my acrylic sculpting course with them first. They advised me not to. They said it was a very difficult course and that I shouldn't do that one first, but I took the challenge on because I like a challenge, and I said, well, I want to do it anyway, send it to me. And I think I got 73% in that. So that's really good. But I looked at the nails a while ago before I moved here. I was throwing things away and I threw them away and I thought, oh my God, these are horrific. Like, how did I ever pass with these? So I did that course and I had a small setup in Germany at first. I had maybe 20 clients that came, every couple of weeks, and I did horrific nails on them, and they loved them, and they were very kind. And then I moved. Oh, and then I had my son, so I stopped doing nails. I did 3 years maternity leave, which is unheard of, but I still kept my stuff, and I did my own nails now and then. And then when we moved back to England the second time, I thought I need to put this stuff to use. So I'll do some more courses and get going mobile. So I started doing a mobile business. And I learned that I had to do a gel polish course to be insured, because you can't do gel polish without doing a course. And when I started, there was no such thing as a gel polish course. So I did that, and I had a little mobile business in Captrick, and it worked really well. I was the only mobile technician there. So I think that really gave me the edge, and I had a lot of clients. I turned people away quite often. And then we moved away. So now I'm here in Germany again with no way to work. So I've done some more courses, which is what I seem to do. And thought I'll take on the social media challenge, because we didn't really use social media in 2011 like we do today. It's completely different now. So I've got to grips with that. I didn't even really use social media when I lived in Captrick. I had a couple of nail groups I was on, but I didn't have time to look at them because I was always working. But now I have all this time, so I'm all day on my phone, like, what's happening?
Yes.
Who's doing nails? Let me see your nails. Who needs help? Let me help you. I can help you.
Yes. And that's actually how we got connected, is that both of us were putting posts out there and giving advice. And it was like, wait a minute, who's Courtney? Who's Amy? I need to meet her. And here we ended up on some groups together. And so it's been a whirlwind, hasn't it? But amazing.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And I think this is a good time to get involved with the social media and being a nail tech, because it's just snowballing. So much is happening. Even today, I learned, which you will find interesting, when you have a group, you can set it now as a social learning group, and you can include units in it. So you can put units up for people to study with. This is a new thing they've just rolled out over the past couple of days. So it's a great time to be in social media and be a nail tech.
Oh my gosh. So is that a Facebook thing, or is it just like,
Yeah, so when you set
I'm,
up a group on Facebook, if you go to like the group type, you can set it to social learning, and then it should prompt you and ask you if you want to activate units. And so you would be able to upload different units. I haven't used it yet, but my friend has got it. She showed it to me this morning, and I thought, oh, Amy would be really interested in that.
yes. So I don't know how. One day I got invited to be a part of, it's called Facebook Power Admins. And I was like, well, I don't know what it is, but anything with the word power, and I need to know about Facebook, I need that. And I was admin on some pages. And so anyways, anytime something comes out new, we can always get on there and say, how do we use this? How do we get it on our page? But sometimes it's like the announcements came out not too long ago, but the US members of the entire US, we were the last ones to receive it. So sometimes they'll launch something new only in an area, and it's not available till almost a year in another area.
Wow.
And so even with announcements, it was months before it was available here. So I haven't seen anything come up, but now I want it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna,
want it as well.
yeah. Oh, how fun. And you know what? That's what it takes. It takes us on all the little things like this, being able to get the word out and saying, did you know that you could do this? Did you try it this way? And it takes a team to be able to do it. Not one person can hold all this knowledge. And so it
No.
takes all of us together to do that.
And that's
That's
what you and
exciting.
Becky talked about yesterday on your live, which I loved, by the way. That was really cool to see
Yeah.
you be interviewed. You were
I
saying
was
how,
so,
like,
did you, I was so nervous the entire time and didn't
were
go
you?
away. I don't why. I don't know.
You thought she was going to stump you, didn't you?
I don't know. I mean, I totally trust Becky, and we've been live many times just, doing live Q&As, but I don't know why, just feeling like the spotlight was on me, even though every time I do a tech talk, the spotlight's there, but for some reason my
Oh,
nerves
it's
were
so
actually
funny. But
so
you guys
funny.
were saying that a lot of techs like to keep their secrets, and they don't want to share the knowledge. And I realized when I moved here that there are so many sets of fingernails in the world. I could never possibly do them all, you know, and I can't know everything and you don't know everything. But if we all come together, we could all know so much. And that just, I find that so empowering. And I absolutely love that I've been helping so many people. There's over 4,000 people on my YouTube channel that I've helped. And it just makes me feel like that's unbelievable. I absolutely love that.
And you know there's more than that. That's just how many actually hit the subscribe button. Because
Yeah.
I quit subscribing to so many because it, you know, it kind of fills that up and you get notifications for each one and stuff. So I can still go on and stalk them, but yet they don't know it. And so I know for a fact, Courtney, that your following is quadruple that, if not more. It's just that that many people have actually hit the button. And I too am one of those people, you know, that I've subscribed to you a long time ago. I love watching your videos.
Oh,
One,
thank
I'm
you.
attracted to your accent. We all know that. But two, just your tutorials are amazing. And you know, I remember in the very beginning, I think it was one of your first videos, it was an ombre and we're doing red and black ombre and how many layers we had to do and then go back and forth and get it and get it. And now look, just in a few months, how we can change that again and go, okay, now I have this brush, or now I have this gel polish that works, or now I have this technique. And we can continue to change and update and stuff like that. That, like what you said, looking back at your old acrylics of what you did a
Oh
long
my
time ago,
God.
you can see growth. And we put out ours out there on social media, and then even a month later, I can be like, I could have done that a little bit differently, and then we'd do another one. And we grow with our followers, you know, as well.
I even on my YouTube channel now I have playlists. So now I have an ombre playlist and I have 3 videos in the ombre playlist because I've done it 3 different ways and each way works. And you know, I have my favorite way, but you might like to do it with 16,000 layers in a brush. I don't know. You know, so I just have
Yeah.
everything put together and I think it's really cool that these playlists will grow as the time goes
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. So I was going to rewatch our other Tech Talk, and honestly, I just have not had time. And so, just in the last 6 months of you being more active on social media and simply saying the words, what can I do to help? How do you feel that your career has changed?
Um, I think it's given me purpose because over here I don't have a job and I don't have purpose and I didn't want to lose touch with my love of nails. So it's really given me purpose. And it's gotten me exposure. And I didn't think that that would be a big thing, but apparently it is because I have people contact me weekly. They want to send me products to review on my channel, or they want me to create content for their apps, or they want to offer me a job in a salon.
Yeah.
So I mean, exposure and showing that you are capable and you're a nice person and really branding yourself as the person that you are is what I've done, and that seems to have just blown things up for me.
Yes, it's so true. And so I do a lot of marketing classes, and then just recently I did Tech Talk Live with Stephanie Mitchell, and we talked about branding nonstop, and we talked about how you have to be consistent so that when people see, like you have the big C, little C logo, and you know the scroll work, I can see that immediately, and I know that's yours. Me, I followed you long enough that I can see any of your posts, and I'm like, that has to be Courtney's because you've branded yourself with a certain way, the way you take your pictures, the way
Yeah.
that you do your setup and stuff. So, yeah, that's so important to have that consistency in there. I just saw you scroll up as well. I was trying to write down some questions as we were talking. So, I don't know if
Oh,
you want to stop and answer some questions right
yeah,
now,
let's
and then
do
we
it.
can continue on. So, the very first question that was on there is Vonda says, do I need an Instagram and a Twitter? My continued question on that is what's your purpose? So what is it that you're trying to reach? Are you doing blogging and you have things to say? Then yes, you're going to want a Twitter. If you're doing more with pictures, you want to build up a clientele, you want to build a following, yes, you need an Instagram. So I think it kind of depends on what your focus is on that. What do you think, Courtney?
Yeah, I mean, I don't use Twitter. I don't understand Twitter. I know a lot of people do use it, and somebody actually wrote a post last week and said something along the lines of, if you want to be anywhere in this world as a nail tech, you need to be ruthless, and that was on Twitter. So I don't know what happens on Twitter, but it doesn't sound like something that is in my scope of things. But Instagram definitely, and even if you don't use Instagram to get exposure or to get clients, it's such a great way to
Uh-oh.
keep all of your work in the same place because if
Back. Courtney. So I apologize. I don't know what happened, but we're definitely frozen. Hmm. And we lost her. Okay, so as soon as I can see her, we'll bring her back on. So sorry about that. As we well know, we just have to work with the way the internet runs. There we go. Um, anyways, hello everybody. I can even see like Jenny was on here, long time no see, and all of that. You guys, thank you so much for always joining in on these tech talks and being active with us and asking questions. Let's bring Courtney back on here.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
My third tech
I'm not
talk.
sure what happened. I never know. We just wing it and keep going.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
mean,
So
Instagram, I've never gotten a client off of Instagram. I've never, I don't know if people take my pictures from Instagram and bring them to other nail technicians. I only use Instagram really for a catalog of my work, and that's pretty much all I use it for.
So I've actually been told multiple times by some big marketing gurus that your Instagram is a picture book for you. There can be some interaction on it and stuff like that, but your Facebook is where you're actually going to have communication and you're actually going to have the sale side of it, the book now. And then they said, and then you have a website. Your website is going to be where you're selling your retail, your product, additional services and stuff like that. So I too don't have a Twitter because even though I have lots of things to say, I say it through my group. I don't sell anything, so I don't need, the additional side. If I sell anything, it's a workshop. And so um, yeah, so Vonda, back to your question. I think it depends on where your focus is. And another thing that I think is important is to master and be consistent with one at least. So if Facebook is the one that you understand Facebook, you see how it works, master it, promote it like crazy, get it where you have things scheduled, and then take on another social media because if not, your notifications and your messages, you can't keep up with it all. It's too much.
No,
So
and
it
then
depends what
you'll
your
be like
focus is
me,
for
and
you.
you'll have 50,000 balls in the air and just struggle to keep everything balanced because that's what I like to do.
Yeah. Yeah, we're good at juggling, right? It takes a whole team for me. I delegate out. I'm like, I even asked my daughter, I'm like, I need help. Will you help me do this? I need a model for a video so that I can show proper prep. I need, so it takes a whole team for me to be here.
I did say to my husband the other day, I said, you're going to have to start helping me um, when I become rich and famous and sign you off of the army. When I make enough money to get you out of the army, you'll have to work for me. You can run my website. And he was like, I don't know how to work a website. And I was like, neither do I, but I do.
Yes, absolutely. So Deb says, cool, I'll have to watch that. And she's talking about your ombre videos. I struggle with the ombres. Sorry, she's on here late, but what is the Courtney's last name? It's Courtney Crosbie, and her business name is Big C Little C.
Big C, little C. Yes, there's an
So
ombre
you,
video. The ombre video on my YouTube that has been most helpful to people is using the ombre brush. Um, this one with the one that has
Yes.
the really thin brushes at the end. And so what I found best, because when I first used it, I couldn't do it. It wasn't working very well. So I had to play around with it, and I realized that you need to work the brush in every direction. You can't just go up and down. You need to go up and down, and you need to go sideways, and you need to go in an X, and you need to just look at what needs blended and kind of fight against that direction and use really thin layers. And when you do that, it's so easy. I smashed out a whole set of 20 ombre nails in such a small amount of time. Would have taken me hours with my 6 layers and gel brush technique. So the ombre brush is
Yeah.
definitely something that every nail tech should have, because you always get that one client that comes in and they say, "Oh, I'd like an ombre today." And you go, "Oh,
Yes, exactly that. I know. And so people are going to ask, where did you get your ombre brush?
I think I got it off of eBay. I don't buy expensive products. I usually buy things off of eBay or AliExpress. And when I find something I really like, I go and I buy like 10 of them because I don't want to run out, because these things, when they're cheap, they don't last forever. But if they work, then I'm happy to buy 10 of them for a couple pounds each rather than buy one, because I ruin things as well. I am known for leaving my brushes in the sun and they harden all the time. I do it. I'm so irresponsible with my things. So I just buy cheap ones. And then if that happens, it's okay because I have 9 more in the cupboard.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be okay. And so I have to say, I think it was just yesterday or the day before, I follow Jesse Bruner. And we've been communicating quite a bit lately. And I watched the beginning of one of his videos and I saw him take a razor to a regular gel or acrylic brush. I now don't know what it was. I think it was like a type of acrylic brush and made an ombre brush. Like it's
Yeah.
a brand new video he just released. And in fact, it's in our group. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Like I am pretty crafty. I've gone in with scissors and I've created my own as well. But I was like, who takes a razor to a brush? Like, anyways, so there's many ways that you can come up with something, but find what works for you. And then, like Courtney does, buy a whole lot of them.
Just buy lots. You can give them to your
Yeah.
friends.
So then Vonda wants to know about Pinterest. Now, in my case, I actually started with Pinterest. I had Pinterest before I was active on Facebook, but that was just for me saving boards of work that I've done. So I had a portfolio that when my clients came in, I could go to Pinterest, I could show them work that I've done, and then I could show them work I want to do. I still do that, but it depends. Pinterest is going to be your blogging. Again, it's going to be your area just for people to read your blog, get a recipe from you or whatever. But you're going to notice that most of the people on Pinterest have something to sell. Their Pinterest is going to link you to a website. So it depends what your purpose is that you're getting in for. But I love Pinterest. It's very
I
fun for
have
me.
Pinterest. I opened a Pinterest account just for nails, and I'll tell you why. Because I want to show up in Google. When people Google red ombre nails, I want my nails to show up. And I find that usually when I Google nails, it's things from Pinterest that are coming up in my search results. So I'm going to start a Pinterest. So I put everything that I put on the internet, I also put in my Pinterest account, which I haven't updated in a few weeks. But I'm trying to just
Yeah.
keep everything in there so that people, when they Google things that I have done, it will show up as well. Because I don't know why I have this thing where I want to be all over the internet and I want people to see my stuff. I really get a kick out of it. So that's why I have a Pinterest. And it is working, because if I Google my name, a lot of things come up from my Pinterest account. So
Yeah.
obviously they are
Yeah.
there. But I still don't understand
Well,
Pinterest.
well, you're doing everything right, Courtney. I mean, seriously, I know that's taken a long time and you have all these like the juggling kind of going on and stuff. But so every time I go to do a tech talk, I actually Google the person's name to see if it ever comes up, just to see, because that way when we're talking, I have a little bit more idea of like, do they really want their name out there? Are they really using all the social medias? And then, I don't like it when people are like, it's a popularity contest. The numbers that show up on YouTube's is just meaning that they were popular. It doesn't mean that those people really like everything that they do, but it is turning more and more like that. We only follow now because we have to follow on every single program. We have to follow the people on Pinterest, on Instagram, and you get so bogged down with all of that that now we only follow people that we're truly interested in,
Yeah.
that we truly want to see their work. And the ones that post every single day, all the time, and spam it with stuff, we tend to block them, and we're left with the people we really truly want to learn from. And so you're that person. You are that. And actually, Jenny says, do you make money from all this fame, Courtney and Amy, or is this just a labor of love?
I don't make any
No money.
money.
Me neither. It's completely a labor of love. The only thing that I make money from online is teaching workshops. And it's with product. Sometimes people will send me product, but it's with products I use in the salon that I have purchased myself. It's my own time. I'm not compensated in any way. It's just labor of love would be a good way of
Well, I
doing
mean,
it.
I do get sent products to review for companies, but I mean, half the time I use most of the product in the first 15 takes of the video because I don't do it perfectly. So I'm halfway through the pot before I even post a video, and then I'll put it on my nails once and it will be gone. So I don't really feel like I benefit from that, and I'm probably going to start stepping away from the reviewing because I don't think that's really where I want to be. I don't think that's what people need to see. There's a lot of people that do reviews already, and I think my best thing is to help people to learn to be a good nail tech. And I can
Yeah.
always say, well, this is a good thing that I bought. I bought this from AliExpress. Here's the link. You can go and buy it. Um, but I don't think I'm going to be doing the reviews. And I did recently get approached to make some videos for Musically, and I am being paid for that. But it's only, I think it works out to be £15 a video. And I'm spending over an hour making the videos and I'm using my products. So I'm not really earning much off of that, but it's still cool.
But sometimes all the labor of love that we do online, I don't know what it is yet, but I just feel like it's gonna turn into something even more. It's not my goal. My goal, like with Tech Talk Live, is just to bring directly somebody who has great education and has great knowledge to share and bring that directly to nail techs. Because sometimes we feel like we're alone and that we don't have our group, we don't have a system, we don't have mentors, but we're here. You and I have offered multiple times, we're here to help. And so that's what I do it for. But I really think that because it's grown so much so fast, I think it is going to kind of turn into something else. I just don't know what. Like I've been
Yeah.
approached. It's what's even funnier is it's not even people in the nail industries that are approaching me a lot. It's like makeup companies, or you should use my hair serum, or you should wear my shirt when you're live, or here's a necklace. And I'm like, really, my favorite one though is anti-wrinkle cream. The reflections, you need to have lighting on, which, yeah, I have a light, but then I'm blinded the whole time and I can't see. Does that make my wrinkles look any less and my smile lines look less? I don't think so. So
No.
I just go on and be me.
And you're beautiful anyway.
Oh, well, thanks, Courtney. But I think it's funny that you never know where it's going to go. Maybe for some reason my Tech Talk lives won't even end up being so much the nail industry. Maybe it might be on a bigger scale. Like yesterday we were live with Nail Style. Maybe it will turn into interview people in the hair industries too, and the beauty and how they got started, how they become successful. What can we do to, kind of follow on their shirt tails? Let's see here. So Electra says, yeah, I'm glad that you said AliExpress because it's where so many of the supplies come from. Even on the
Yeah.
big suppliers, they do. It's amazing when you start thinking like even like gel polishes and acrylics and stuff, that really there's only like 5 to 8 manufacturers for all the companies.
I
And
know.
so
And I've said
depending,
this to people before. And it's
yeah,
funny because I was looking to get a really inexpensive gel polish range for my custom tips. Because I don't want to use really expensive products on the custom tips because obviously they don't need the longevity. So I thought if I find a really cheap gel polish, so I went on Alibaba and there are so many, and I just thought
yeah.
this is where I can pick out, I know that bottle that you're offering, I know what company uses you, and I know what company uses you. And oh, look, these brushes. Yes, I know who sells these brushes for 3,000% markup. You
Yes.
know, I love
Yes.
AliExpress and I love that we have the opportunity to buy these things, even if we have to wait 60 days for delivery. I just try to keep ordering. Every week I order something so that I always have something coming and I'm never sad.
Yeah. So one of the things that never sad. So one of the things that you brought up that I would like to talk about is how you started doing these demos on tips for your YouTube and just for you to practice and help other people, but it's turned into its own business.
Yeah, it's really cool. So that's just what I did. I bought like lots of tips because I see other people use the full size tips. So I thought this is cool. I can do this rather than do my own nails all the time because they were getting destroyed. And then somebody back home said, let me know when you're selling these. I would love to buy some of these off of you. And so I thought, well, if she wants to buy them, then that's one person, you know. So I made a couple of
Yes.
full sets and I put them up for sale on my Facebook page. And I have sold probably half a dozen now. I'm not really pushing it. I don't have an eBay store. I'm sure if I put them on eBay, I would sell lots, but I haven't really pushed it. But I'm just trying to slowly get my name out there and let my followers know that this is something that they can order if they really like my work. You can wear these. And I've sent a few sets to Canada. I've had somebody from Australia message me and ask me about a custom set, but they never got back to me. But I just think it's such a cool way to expand your business because most of us nail techs sit for hours and paint nails anyway. We want to try something new. Oh, we'll try it on one nail. So if you're going to do one nail or two nails, you might as well do 10 and put them in a pretty box and put them up for sale and make 10, 20 bucks off of it because it's just going to sit
Yeah.
in. I've got my little random nail jar that holds hundreds of nail tips that have gone to waste. But I could use all of those and make a complete set and make money off them. So I think it's just really easy.
Yeah.
So I've been working on this. I got the idea to start it when I lived in Catterick, but it was so overwhelming. There were too many things to think about, and I was working and moving, and it was just too overwhelming. So when I moved here, I thought I'm really going to focus on this and get it off the ground and get a website and figure out where I need to buy the products that I can get them the cheapest. So I've spent a lot of time with a lot of suppliers trialing. I have so many boxes that I've bought that were absolutely rubbish, and some of them were really good, and then they discontinued them, and now I'm looking for more. And so I think I found a good supplier. I was going to get them from Alibaba, but you have to order 60,000 boxes.
Yes.
I'm like, I can't order 60,000 boxes. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
no, thank you. So, yeah,
Kind of
it's been
like,
really
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, kind of like what Robin said that she would rather wait and pay for the extra markup just so that she can have it faster. She can have it now. She doesn't have to, be patient. Order bulk, like with Alibaba you have to and stuff like that. So
Even
yeah,
on
there's many times
Alibaba,
that I've gotten on there.
it wasn't even any cheaper on Alibaba. They offered me a really rubbish deal, and I said, I'm not paying that. I can get that off AliExpress. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? They're all still the same interlinking, kind of
yeah, well, they
product.
use
So
the
it's always
same
interesting.
pictures even. You can take, did you know on
Yeah.
AliExpress, I don't know if anybody knows this, but you can take any picture off of the internet, off of somebody's selling page, and you can search with that picture on AliExpress and find the exact same product. So if somebody is using the pictures as being lazy and not taking their own photos of their products, you can search and see where, oh, they got it from AliExpress. They must have because the picture's the
Yeah.
same. I think that's really funny.
My My daughter watches Catfish all the time on TV, and that's what they do is they take an image of somebody and they put it in Google and see how many things come up because they find so many times there's just fake profiles and stuff
I
out
love
there. And
catfish.
so that's what we've done many times. Me too. Like I don't watch a lot of TV, but I love mindless ones where I'm trying to like figure it out like, oh no, it's totally that's fake. That's not really that person. And then sometimes like it really is the person and they make a great connection. And then I'm, like, oh, that's so sweet. But so funny. So, Kim, thank you for responding in the comments. I see that you already put up Courtney's Instagram
Oh, thanks, Kim.
address and stuff like that. So I want to say thanks, Kim. This is once again, you know how we talk about it takes a team to get us going? Kim is my backbone. I rely on her daily for just that push every morning. She's always in our group saying good mornings and what are you guys up to? And Kim, I just want to say thank you.
And I always see
So,
Kim's nails. Every time I open my Instagram, Kim's nails are always there. I don't know if it's the time difference, and that's when she posts her nails just as I'm getting up for the
oh no, it
day.
froze again.
But it just starts
So
my
if you
day
guys can,
perfect.
yeah. So that's actually what Kim said in an earlier comment about you is that every morning when she opens it up, she sees Courtney's nails.
That's cool. I love that I see Kim's nails. And I know them
So like,
because Kim has a certain way that she takes her pictures and she has a certain style to her nails. And I don't have to look to see who's posted them because I know they're Kim's.
yes, absolutely. That's that part of branding that we were talking about is that when you're consistent of the same way, some people have their same logo, and being unique in that. So even though all the pictures still might look like this, there's just one little, maybe the background or like what you said, the watermark on something. And remember, multiple times I've gone on Tech Talk Live with editors of different magazines and people that do publishing. And, you know, if you have your cute emoji gal on there and you have the company of the product that you know that you're using and then you have your watermark, they can't use your pictures. It's too
Yeah.
distracting. That's too distracting for them to publish in a magazine. Think if you're using it for a client, it might be too distracting for the client as well. It's taking away from the nails themselves. There's other ways that you can do it or keep it more faint. And I think Kim has kind of mastered that as well as you, where you've like Kim keeps hers, you know, around like
Yes,
one
she
little
does.
cuticle or something like that. Yeah. All right. So you guys have any additional questions for Miss Courtney today? Because as you well know, she always says to private message her to, you know, get a hold of her in any way through any of her sites because she is here to help. And when I say she's here to help, she's here to help. Like nothing in return. She just wants to see you be successful. And it's one of the things I absolutely admire that I get to call Courtney a friend in that.
Well, Vonda says, how do you get followers? Where do you start? So I think you just really have to put yourself out there constantly and be really consistent with your posting and take quality pictures. That is the biggest thing, I will say. If you're taking rubbish pictures of your nails, people aren't going to like them. They're not going to go and check out your page. You really need to focus on taking really good pictures because that's what people buy with their eyes. And I think when I started to take better pictures, that's when I noticed that people were paying more attention to my page on Facebook. And I don't have that many people on my Facebook that aren't nail techs. There's a lot of nail techs on there, which isn't really beneficial for making money, but I think there's a few on there that have come across my page and they just like my pictures. But I think that's the most important thing to get new followers. I guess it's what kind of followers you want. If you want nail techs, then join all the like for like pages and be really helpful and comment on everybody's things and tell people they're doing beautiful nails when they are and things like that. Always putting yourself out there will get you followers as well.
Yeah. And so do you use a light box? Do you use an extra camera? What do you do for your
I
pictures?
have used absolutely everything. I've tried everything. I made my own light box out of tissue paper and cardboard and had a light in every direction. I've used lights that are just all in directions. I've used sun outside. I've recently bought a really big light box to take pictures for my website because I found that was the best quality thing. I think it's probably half the size of our nail tech table, so probably 30 centimeters cube, and it was only £30, so it was a good deal, and it came with two lights. I'll put the link if anybody wants the link to that. I'll put it in the comments after. But that's been the best thing. But if you can get natural light, if you're lucky enough to live in a place that has sunlight sometimes, which we
Yeah.
don't in England, then you can just use natural light and just make sure there's lots of it and focus on the nails and keep them the focus. Oh, my nails are terrible. keep them the focus of the picture. You don't want to have lots of negative space. You don't want to have lots of props in there. I mean, one or maybe two things is okay, but people flood their pictures with flowers and gems and beads, and it takes away from the nails. You really just want the nails to grab the people's eyes.
Yes, absolutely. So those of you that want to learn to make a light box, Stephanie Mitchell did a whole tutorial step by step and then talked about posing and different lighting. She did an entire blog. It's you can find it in our group. You can search, hit at the very top. I don't know if you guys know this, but at the very top, you can search within group and put in somebody's name, put in videos, put in whatever ombre, whatever you want, and it will pull up everybody's videos and pictures that, are tagged with that. And so she did one and it was phenomenal. And I keep telling myself I'm going to do it. But one thing that I learned from a photographer a long time ago, okay, so maybe like a year ago, is I was going to hire a photographer to do this whole photo shoot for me because there was a challenge that we were doing that we were going to try to do, magazine cover front
Mm-hmm.
kind of challenges. And he ended up using my cell phone because he said the quality of our cell phones are better than some of the cameras on the market.
Yeah,
We just
definitely.
have to know how to do the settings and not have, all the different apps, different things. And even for to be published in Nails Magazine, if you've used an app and they can see you photoshopped it, they don't want to use your picture. So just take real pictures, get it cropped in nicely. Don't do the picture where the person's out like this because the background
Is
is
their
this.
boobs.
Or if they're standing, I know, so I'm in a dress today, but if they're standing and they're like this, then you're going to get this in the background. Don't do that to your client and don't do that to yourself. Put something underneath. I know a lot of people on here were saying that they got fur, or some people
I
do
love
glitter
her.
backgrounds and stuff. Yeah. So here's my background. I have this little picture frame, but that little bit of sheen and there's a little bit of texture on there.
Mm-hmm.
This is the background of my pictures. It's this Hobby Lobby. I don't know, a couple dollars or something like that. That's my background. I grab it easily. It's sitting there, so I don't have a stack of papers or fur or anything like that. That's my go-to. So just find something that you have already as well.
Yeah.
Well, Guinea or Jenny, I know that's what it is now. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry you have a fussy grandson, but I'm glad that you're here with us now.
My son is in big
Um,
trouble today. I had to be very angry at him, so he's gone to bed with an angry mummy. So it's not been a very good day for us. I hate being angry at him, but
I know.
sometimes you have to.
So And so your videos that you do for YouTube, obviously you need quiet unless you're going to do voiceovers on them. You need nobody distracting you and stuff. How do you juggle all of that? Because you're a stay-at-home mom. I know your
Yeah.
husband's gone a lot in the military. So
Well,
how do you do all of that?
if I do it when my son's home, he's a very good boy most of the time, and he knows if mommy's working, he'll go and play the PlayStation or he'll go in his bedroom and play. And he even made me a sign for my door, bless his heart. Quite a while ago, he made a sign. It said "Stay out" and taped it to my door. And he said, "Mom, this is so that you can let us know when you're working and you need us to be quiet." So he does know, and
Oh,
he knows that I do videos for YouTube, and he's my biggest fan when it comes to nails. If ever I do my nails, I'm like, "Do you like my nails?" And he says, "Oh, yes, I like that sparkly one best. You should do them all like that."
yeah. That's so true. And you know what? Even when I had my big salon and my kids were little, now you got to know my daughter is now 18 and my son's 24. I mean, so this was many years ago. And trust me, we didn't have like the Nintendo set up or
No.
whatever for the kids. And I would have to take them to work with me quite often. And so we would kind of talk it as like a TV program. My son absolutely, like they were watching Garfield. It was like, even though it was an old antique cartoon, then they still liked it. And I'd be like, okay, I need you to be quiet for as long as a Garfield, show. And they knew that that wasn't very long. And when it would end, I, would be back with them. So that was about 30 minutes. And at that time, I wasn't doing all the nail art that I do now and stuff. And it was about a 30-minute thing. And they would come in and they're like, okay. And they would give me that patience. But it took communication to say, this is what I expect, instead of just go away, go away. Give them a
Yeah.
time frame. Like we said, put up a sign. This is my time. And then I'm going to be about you. And so I agree. You just have to kind of finagle that somehow, huh?
And I have been training him for a couple of years because I had clients come to my house when I worked in England. So he would come in the room every now and then because we had a living room and a dining room that was attached by a door, and the door was always open. And he would sit in the living room and I would sit in the dining room and do nails. So he would come in and chat to us for a second, and then I would say, okay, can you go and play your Kindle or watch telly for a bit now? And he would go, and so I've been training him for a while, but he knows that he needs to leave me alone because this is what I'm doing. And I tell him, this is what I'm doing to buy you toys. And if you want me to be able to buy you food and clothes and toys, then you need to let me do this. But he's very level-headed, my son is. He's not a typical 5-year-old. He's more of like an 8-year-old. So I don't know if other 5-year-olds would do that.
I think it's because of the guidance that he gets from his mama.
Maybe. He didn't
Yeah.
get very good
So Julie,
guidance today.
do you ever feel like as though your creativity is stalled, and how do you rejuvenate it?
All the time,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
It happens almost on a daily basis. And then usually when I'm laying in bed at night is when I rejuvenate myself, because that's my time that I know nobody is going to talk to me. I don't have to think about anything I don't want to think about. So I lay in bed at night and I think of all the cool things that I could do on nails. Not the things that I want to do, but just what would be cool, what would be different, and the thoughts just roll into another. And then the next day when I wake up, I think, oh, I should try that thing I thought about last night. And it doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. And also I see people struggling with things, and they'll say, how do I do this flower? And I've never seen that flower, but I think, well, I could probably do that flower. I'm going to try and do that. And that helps as well, just to try something that I've never seen, never would have tried before, but somebody wants to know how to do it, so I must learn how to do it so I can tell them how to do it.
Yeah, but exactly that. I do a lot of what I call pop-up lives, and I haven't done so much lately because the last 2 months, you guys know, my daughter has graduated. She won all these different awards. We had ceremonies. I've been in 2 weddings. Like, seriously, the last 2 months was just really crazy for me. But usually I'll come on, I'll do this thing called a pop-up live, and I kind of have a vision what I want to do, so that way I can just pull down a whole bunch of supplies so I'm not getting up a lot during that live. But I go with what people want to see, when they're talking to me. And I can tell you that if you've not pulled out 5 tips and just pulled out 5 random colors and decided to challenge yourself just to try something, pull out and say, I'm going to do everything today with this detail brush and a dotting tool and these 2 colors. I'm going to come up with 5 different designs. If you have not sat down and just played and accepted that one of them's not going to turn out and one of them's going to be phenomenal, and
Or
that
maybe none of
you
them will
could not.
turn out.
Yeah, sometimes, huh? But you don't know till you try. And so just like you, that's what happens is you just bring these tips out and you're like, I'm going to give that a whirl. I'm going to try to layer it out and see how I can do that. Watch videos. I watch so many other nail techs videos. Sometimes it's just YouTube. And even on YouTube, they're not even all licensed nail techs. This might be a 14-year-old girl that has a YouTube channel that figured out how to do something with saran wrap. And you're like, really? Never even thought about that before?
So this is a good time for me to say that I'm going to do this giveaway, aren't I?
Yes, absolutely. I forgot about that actually.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
this will be a good way for you guys to experiment and get some new ideas, because my favorite color is purple. So I've literally just chosen lots of purple stuff from my stash that I will send to you. So I have some purple feathers, which I've not used yet. I bought these a long time ago. I have some purple striping tape. It's got 3 different widths. I've got a little pack of purple gems and caviar beads and pearls and just random stuff. Everything that was purple in my drawer, I put in that. And I have lots of purple glitters. I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, that one is beautiful.
5, 6.
Yeah.
So some of these are special glitters that are from my pot that I tip all my glitters into. And then when I like it, I pot it up. So some of those are from that. And I have a purple pigment that you can use with this. I think Kim has used this before. I've not used this before, but you can have that as well. and we have some hollow flakes because I was telling Amy yesterday that I bought like 50 grams of hollow because I don't know why I did that, but I did. So now I have lots of
Because
hollow.
it's amazing.
And we have my favorite dotting tool. So these are cool. You might have seen me use these in my workshop because they're curved, so you don't have to come at it like this. You can just be comfortable.
Yeah.
And then this brush, I think, is a Born Pretty knockoff.
Pretty. It is very pretty.
Where's the thing? It's a fine
Yes.
detail, short bristle brush. I use that brush very often. And this brush is a very long striping brush,
Oh,
which
oh, beautiful.
I use this brush for everything. And I got these off AliExpress, but I will send somebody all of these things. I'll put it all in a box and send it. So I thought the best thing to do would be for you guys to go on my YouTube channel and just find a video that you like and comment hashtag Tech Talk Worldwide, and I will see all the comments, and then I'll take everybody's name and put them into a draw, and I will do a video to announce the winner of this little purple package of happiness. And
Yay.
so you'll have to subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified when I do this video. And if you like my Facebook page, that would absolutely be a bonus as well, because I post stuff on there all the time that you could use for inspiration.
Yeah.
So
So we were having
let's
a
do
hard
that.
time because we wanted to do some sort of, well, Courtney wanted to be able to give a giveaway. And I'm like, lessons learned from prior ones of what has worked and what's not. And sometimes when you always have go like my page and go like this, well, you've already liked it. And so therefore the people who've already liked it don't get in the mix. So she found a way that you can leave a comment. And again, use the hashtag Tech Talk Worldwide on there, and then she will know that directly came through watching us. And so even if you're watching on replay, this is still going to happen. Are you going to have an end date that they have to do it by?
What day is it today? Today's the 27th. Let's say in a week from now, that should be good, shouldn't it?
So next Wednesday would be 4th of July, right?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
So on July 4th, Courtney will pick somebody that's based off of that. So even if you're watching this on replay, you still get to play and win her fabulous purple box.
Purple box of happiness. Just go to my YouTube
Yeah.
and comment on one of my videos. And if you leave me a joke or something funny, then that's obviously going to make me laugh, and I'll like that too.
I love it. Courtney, that's one of the things about you again is that you're so real. Many times I've talked with you, whether we've done, a trial and error on our first times of doing Tech Talk Live and stuff like that, but you're always so inspirational. You are funny and very uplifting
Oh, thank
and
you.
just real. And I think that's another reason why we can connect with you so well. I look forward to continue watching you and your success, whether it takes off that you become some continued video person like you're doing with Musically,
Yeah,
or
maybe.
whether it's, I know, more and more, online workshops, or maybe it's the pre-made tip part. But the greatest success that I think is going to come your way is that finally, when you do this move in August, that you're going to be settled enough that you get to actually do nails on
I'm so
humans
excited. You
and
have
be in a
no idea.
salon. Yeah, yeah.
A whole
So,
year without
Courtney,
doing nails.
yeah, Courtney just actually had a couple proposals for her, so she's weighing out her options of what's going to be best for her after this move of where she wants to be. Does she want to be independent? Does she want to be in a salon? You know, the struggles that we all go through. And what's nice is that you have options, and that because of you putting yourself on social media, like with what Vonda said earlier, to get the clientele. Do you know the marketing that Courtney's already done with between YouTube that her clients know what to expect? With her nail art that she puts on maybe Pinterest and Instagram, they can go through and find the portfolio of what they want. She already has such a great marketing tool that when it's time for her to build a clientele, it's going to happen fast as well. So get your ducks in a row and make sure it's what you want, because boy, once those clients start coming, it's just you're back in that everyday routine. And then your juggling is going to be even bigger. How are you going to maintain everything you already have now and
I
that?
have no idea because I'm also about halfway through my educator's course because I want to be a formal educator. So I'm almost done that, and I'll do a trade test when I get back to England, and then hopefully start working for the company that I'm doing the course with. So it's going to be absolutely crazy, but my son's going to be in school full time, and I won't have 5 hours worth of school runs a day. So I think I'll be all right, but it will be
Yeah.
a challenge at first for sure. But I'll just be so happy to do nails like actual people, human beings with hands
Yeah.
and cuticles. I can trim cuticles. I'm so excited for this.
So I think, Courtney, what we're going to have to do is just keep you on about a 6 month rotation because in 6 months from now, you're going to be able to share like this is how I built a clientele. These were my best
Yeah,
advertising things um, because I remember doing a show with Ella Washik, and here she is, this international competitor that had won all these trophies and in the nail industry was very huge, but she didn't have a clientele. She said, so, it's like you can have one side of it, but how do you get the other? And so she had to go back and like figure out the marketing side of it and all of that. Just saying that you have these trophies wasn't good enough. And so, anyways, I look forward to bringing you back on and seeing, okay, what happened now? Where are you now?
yeah, I'll take notes.
Yeah,
I'll write a
that sounds
blog.
good. Yeah. Speaking of blogs, you do write blogs
I do. I
and you've
haven't
been
written for
published.
my blog for a long time because that is really something that's very time consuming. And I have to watch my tone and my language a lot in that, and I struggle with that. Um, but I do enjoy writing blogs, and I find I did it because I was commenting on people's questions on Facebook, and I was constantly giving the same advice, and then you only have just so much space in a comment that you can write. So I thought I actually pay for this blog. I pay £55 a year to have this, and I make absolutely no money off of it. But it's just somewhere that I can send people when they say, how do what am my gel polish is lifting? What am I doing wrong? And I'm like, I have listed everything that I found in this blog. You can go and read that. Or how can I get clients? I have a 40 ways to get clients in the door and keep them blog, which has been so successful and helped so many people. So I'm like, just go and read that blog, and it saves me time because I don't have time to be commenting books on several because a lot of people post the same things, and I see it over and over because I spend so much time on social media. I'm always seeing the same things. So I just thought, well, I'll write a blog. Why not? Never did that before,
That is
but
a great idea. I sometimes I'll see like quite a few people have the same thing, and so I'll go in and just write up a post, and then I'll copy and paste it to a whole bunch of them. And so sometimes I'll keep it in the clipboard where I can paste it in.
yeah.
But I think what you're doing is far more professional and probably easier than how I'm doing mine. So I'm gonna have to take note and get with you and say, okay, how do I do this? Because I'm still learning as well.
Well, it is very easy.
Yeah.
Anybody can blog.
Yeah. I've gotten to where when people private message me, I'll text back a little bit if it's longer than that. And I have so many people like you, we respond to every single person that messages us or tags
Mhm.
us in something. And so then I start doing the voice clips. And then pretty soon, if there's a lot of things to cover, I'm just video chatting with them because I can get it out better that way. And so, yeah, I think going with a blog like what you're doing is definitely going to be a lot easier on me as well. So thanks for the idea. I'm going to get with you on that.
No
All right.
problem.
Well, Courtney, so quickly, what's next? I mean, you're getting ready to move. You're going to be in a salon more than likely with that. Do you see yourself like kind of putting blogs and videos together and maybe doing like a bigger workshop of some sort, like online? Do you plan on like going to some of the shows and showing
Oh
education?
my
Do you want to
gosh,
be an
yes.
educator for a company? What
Yes.
what what would you like to do?
I think my main goal is to get into a salon because I've never worked in a salon before. It's hard to get into a salon when you've never worked in a salon. So somebody has just offered me a job in a salon, which is absolutely amazing. I'm blown away that they want me to work for them. So I would love to do that and own my own salon one day. I think that would be a pretty big headache that I would take on because it sounds like something I would do.
It's
And yeah, I want to be an educator. I think I have a knack for it. It seems like just something that I can do, and people seem to understand the way that I teach. Not everybody, obviously, I have gotten some bad comments and some thumbs down on my YouTube, which I don't take to heart, but a lot of people have said like that really resonated with me the way you told me that. So I think that's probably the best thing I can do to feel like my meter is full. If I help people, I can be an educator, and if I can make money as well, then that's obviously a bonus because my husband doesn't like buying nail stuff.
Aw, maybe if it was blue.
No, no, he's always cursing me. More stuff, more glitter on the floor. There's glitter on my face. There's glitter on my uniform.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Say I don't charge for that.
That's free. But yeah, definitely that's what I see myself doing. And um, maybe opening a store. I don't know what I want to do. I just want to do everything and I want to do it all at once.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
I can't.
That's what it takes.
I need to rein.
Yesterday I was talking. Yeah, yesterday I was talking about what I call my little pink book, and it's just a notebook that has a pink cover on it. And the only things in that book are things that I have ideas that I really would like to see come and happen. And then I write down the steps of like almost like an outline, what you would do in school. Like, okay, this is a priority. This is who I have to contact to be able to do this, and kind of pull a team together for each one of those things. And it's amazing when you get organized and you write it down and you get it out of your head and you put it on paper and you start saying, these are the steps I have to take, how it happens. And then
Yeah,
later on, you're like, wow, that wasn't really that hard at all. Like it just kind of happened, but you made it happen. And then it took you getting it out of your head and verbally and, physically getting it going. And so I'm proud of you for doing absolutely every bit of that. And like we said, we don't really know where we're going, neither one of us with the online part of our career. But the whole point is that you and I are just saying yes along the way. And it's like if something comes your way, it's like, okay, yes. And then, we might be hesitant of it, but, and then it's like, well, that led into something else. And then that led into something else. We couldn't see that end goal, but we just did it. And
no,
we
when
enjoy,
I
I mean,
started
I
doing
enjoy
nails,
every,
I just thought I need something that I can take with me when I move around. I'll just paint nails. I'll be the person that paints nails. I didn't ever think
yeah.
that I would be having people message me and offer me jobs in salons. Like I just paint nails. What? I'm sorry. I'm still blown away by it.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? That's that humbling part of us. But, it, I think that's the part that can help inspire other people as well, is that we still see so much more that we can do, that we're not capped in the industry. And so, anyways, uh, I can see people are talking about they even bought themselves a little pink book, and that they too want everything to do everything right now. But the main thing is your family first. Concentrate, your faith, your family, get your platform going and your support going, and then, move forward as you go with that. So with that, Courtney, thank you so much for giving an hour of your time to us and not only inspiring us, but giving us a few laughters along the way. I love
No
every time I
problem.
get to talk to you. Yeah.
Well, I'll see you in 6 months. We can do this again.
Yes, we will do this again. We might have to schedule it now. My tech talks get kind of busy, 2 to 3 a week. We did 3 tech talks this week.
I know
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
So those of you that are interested in what's coming up, I don't have them posted yet because you guys know that I've been extra busy with these weddings and stuff like that. But right when we're so I'm gonna post the Tech Talk Live. I have Gemma Lambert coming on, and we have Katie Barnes next week. Two top people
Wow.
in our industry. Super excited to be able to interview. I've never interviewed either one of them. I've just talked with Katie a little bit behind the scenes because she's going to do a Cruise of the Nail Stars with me in November. And so, anyways, we're going to talk a little bit more about that and all. So, if there's anybody you guys want to see on Tech Talk, message me. I know somebody said yesterday they wanted to see Robin Moses, and I have actually put a request out to her. And so, if you guys have connections with some of these people, hook me up. We would love to be able to bring them on Tech Talk Live. Sometimes because we're not friends on Facebook, they don't get the messages that I send. So I try to send them an email and stuff as well. So sometimes it's just that I've not been able to make the connection. But anyways, yeah, so much fun. And so Courtney, thank you for being my third like trial and error for Tech Talk Live. And thank you for coming on again today. I know we've had a little bit of technical difficulties. Thanks for your patience sticking through.
That's all right.
But it may be 6 months more, we'll have it even more figured out because we're learning along the way. But thank you
Definitely.
so much.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you everybody for watching. And I hope we have a winner for the purple box of happiness.
So to recap, go to Courtney's YouTube and we'll put the link in the comments. Go there, find a video that you like, make a comment, and add into that comment hashtag Tech Talk Worldwide, and you'll be put in the drawing for her purple box. And
Yeah,
then just thank you so much. In fact, we'll put all your links in there. I know Kim already put your Instagram link, but we'll get all your links in there.
cool. All right. Well,
All
I'll
right.
see you guys later.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Okay, bye.